What's up, Craig? Oh, Craig. It's good, It's great. Hey, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Believe Me If You Don't podcast. Another break, but, we out here. I went on a vacation, so that's why I was missing. And then I really didn't feel like doing it when we got back, and then this past weekend too, just wasn't really feeling it. We were pretty busy just with life and stuff like that, so and just wanted to do another episode, what's going on, what's coming up, and everything like that. So I don't think anyone's joining me. I think they're off doing their own thing. I believe Donkey is preparing for the new World of Warcraft expansion, The War Within. I hope it's good for him. It seems like they're, we say this all the time. It seems like they're listening to the players and stuff, mainly like with alts. I do like the warband system. I think that'd be interesting. Highly doubt I give it a try, although I did tell Jaden, honestly, I was feeling like I wanted to play it, but it's coming out at a bad time. It comes out the 20th, I think? 22nd, somewhere around there. No, maybe in 2 weeks. And then, just like every other company, if you buy it, pre-purchase it, you get early access to it. So I think you get a couple days early. But yeah, I think if it wouldn't come out right now, I may give it a go just to see how beginning of an expansion is, because it's been since Shadowlands, since I actually did a opening of an expansion, and that one sucked like big hairy balls. So I actually took off of work. I'm pretty sure I made Jaden angry that day that I took off work and played that expansion, and I absolutely regret it because it was just a horrible expansion. Leveling is just not fun, So, but yeah, like I said, I think it's a bad time because Black Myth Wukong is coming out also around the same time, and I'm getting definitely more interested in it. It's got some Chinese mythology, and I love mythology. If you've listened to some of the episodes, I've talked about God of War with the Greek and the Norse mythology. So I like mythologies, and I think I've never really looked up or dove into Chinese mythology, but I think they would have some cool stuff. And all the trailers that they've shown from this game looks great, and all the early previews about it have been pretty positive. They actually are saying it's a faster Sekiro, and Sekiro is one of the first Souls-like that I got into, and I love that game. So if it is anything like Sekiro, I'm all for this game. So, and mixing on top of it with the mythology, I think it's going to be a great combination, at least for me. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So might stream some of that if anybody wants to, come out and watch Spatchy 2325. If you don't want to, it's perfectly fine. I suck, but I've accepted this. But yeah, and then I think the last episode I did was about the First Ascendant, my thoughts on it. It's been out for about a month and a half now, and Nexon, the company that's doing it, they've definitely made a lot of good changes. I do think personally that they have a lot more to make the game more enjoyable, but I understand it's kind of a live service game, and the longer it goes on, hopefully, as long as they can continue to support it and they have a player base, then it should improve over time. And I mean, the biggest thing for me will always be the grinding issue. I saw somebody, they were talking about one of the biggest issues right now is experience, because they have something called catalysts, which essentially you put it into your character or your guns to reduce the modification costs. So essentially, it allows you to buff you yourself. However, once you do that, you have to re-level either the gun or the character from 1 to 40, and that's very monotonous. Like, I understand that there is not glitches, but certain ways that you can level within 20 minutes or even an hour or something. But that also requires for you to have a friend or a certain descendant. If you don't have that descendant, it definitely makes it a lot not harder. Um, it doesn't. It takes it a lot longer, honestly. So, and I don't have those descendants because you have to unlock those descendants. So, but I get what they're going for. They want to put it out there, and it's still early on. People are still finding builds and everything like that. So I've kind of fell off of it. I'm sure Kiwi and Donkey are going to be upset, but I just can't keep up. It's been fun. So hopefully I can come back in the future when they have adjusted. I did see somewhere maybe somebody made a suggestion that every time you do put a catalyst into your character or your gun, it actually gives you a slight experience buff. And I think you can go up to 7 or 8 catalysts. So honestly, that would be great. Because like I said, you run into that issue. Like, say, as an example, I chose Ajax to begin with. He's a kind of a tank and stuff, but he can't do a lot of the farming builds that you need to do. So, like, there's one, I don't know if it's been nerfed now just because I haven't been on a few days, but there's literally something called the bunny cave, where you have to have a bunny to do that element to do it. And if you don't have that descendant equipped, then you can't do it. You can't, and you're essentially having to level on certain other missions that are just not as efficient. So I think if they really wanted to look into it to fix that issue, that the catalyst thing would be a great idea to lower the time it would take for any character, any descendant that you had, or so we'll see. I think the first season is about to come up, and they're actually going to come up with something called the Mega Dungeon. I don't think they've released how many players it'll actually take to do. Like right now, the dungeons are 3 players. I imagine they're going to go something with Destiny level or Warframe level of 6 to 8 players. And I think that would be really cool. They're going to have to make the bosses like hard, like super hard, honestly. Because, you're going to have a bunch of bunnies that are just going to run through and killing all the mobs, the trash mobs and stuff like that. But when you get to the boss, I think they need to start to utilize every descendant in a sense, because they have support ones, and then they don't have really, like Ajax. I said is kind of a tank, but since it's more of a shooter, they don't exactly focus on you 100% of the time. So I think they definitely should find a way to incorporate all the descendants, so you don't just see multiples of one. But obviously that'll happen because everybody will find a meta and stuff like that. So, but I'll see when, like I said, as I keep up with it on Twitter and videos and stuff. So hopefully in the future, maybe they will adjust some experience stuff, and I'll dive back into it, because I didn't complete all the hard mode bosses, because you just need so much to even really compete unless you're going to get carried. And Donkey and Kiwi, they've carried me a little bit in them, but they can also only do so much, even though they've blown me out of the water in terms of farming. So, yeah. And then, like I said, I think Donkey's preparing for the WoW expansion, but also there was a Diablo 4 update, and I think they dove into that. Diablo 4 updates apparently only last a few days, depending on how hard you want to go. Um, I know they are looking at an expansion ish already for D4 coming up, so I'm curious to see how that goes. Funny enough, if you have Game Pass, you can dive into that. Aaron and I tried it. It was just also very monotonous trying to get through the story. You don't even care about the story. So, but yeah, as for me, since I kind of tapered off with First Ascendant, kind of waiting on it. I'm also waiting on Aaron to get back to play Call of Duty just a little bit more. Not many changes have happened, it's whatever, but it's something for us to play just to take our mind off of things for a couple hours. I think he's at the beach right now, so stay safe. Get back. We'll play Call of Duty. But oddly enough, for me, since Kiwi and them were off doing the First Ascendant and Diablo stuff, I wanted to get back into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I never completed some of the older or the harder bosses and stuff because you have to go through on normal mode or dynamic or whatever, and then you have to start on hard mode to get certain manuscripts that allow you to get points to put into each character and stuff. So I'm on chapter 13 finally of hard mode. However, I've been absolutely looking for this one materia that's pissing me off because everywhere I look, it says you have to go do these 3 things. It's chapter 1. You can miss it, but I've went back several times. I didn't miss it. You have to Kate Sith. He joins your party in chapter 8. Okay, that's a free one. And then in chapter 12, you have to complete a side quest. I've completed that side quest. I've completed all the side quests now, and I still don't have it. Thanks a lot, IGN, for lying to me because you don't actually keep the materia that you're needing, which is magnified, by the way. OP as shit. You don't keep the one from chapter 1. It doesn't go over to chapter 2. You actually have to complete the brutal challenge, which I just did. It took me several hours to get the magnifying materia. And there's only 3 in the game. And it makes combos for using magic spells and stuff so much easier. And I finally, like I said, I just beat it. So now I am on the brutal fights, and then I'll have the legendary fights, and then the arena. But I think now with this having the 3rd magnify, I can actually create a build like people are saying. I'm still baffled at this one issue, and I don't know. I've always had bad luck, I guess, in video games. You can ask Donkey and Jordan and them what happened to me in High Mall in World of Warcraft. But I can't get the Genji gloves or the Genji armor and stuff because I'm missing a single dark matter, and I have went through everything, all the side quests, all the mini games, and I don't understand how I'm missing it. I did not make a duplicate of an item, so it's very unfortunate I'm missing out on that because if you know anything about Final Fantasy games, usually at the end of it, you get something that will allow you to break the damage barrier of 9999, and obviously it makes it so much easier because you can hit your limits, it'll go over 10k, you can do summons and it'll go over 10k, and it just makes the fights easier. And for whatever reason, I cannot find these last dark matter, and I can't make them, and it's very unfortunate. So I'm kind of at a hindrance of myself. So I've looked up Reddits and everything like that. I don't understand why they even allowed you to make duplicates in terms of items or armor pieces or weapons or whatever with dark matter. Like, you shouldn't be able to make it and never be able to make another one so you don't run into this duplicate issue. But I just, like I said, I've looked, I've thought that I haven't duplicated something. So I don't know what's going on. So hopefully having this third magnify will allow me to actually do some of these harder fights without those Genji gloves. So, but yeah, diving back into that, I really need to get back to Final Fantasy 16, the last DLC too, and now with kind of First Ascendant being out of the way, I think once I've really got my feel of Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, game of the year by the way, I don't care what anyone says. I put 150 hours into it, and I'm still not done. Like I said, with those these harder fights and whatnot. So, but yeah, in a couple weeks, I definitely want to dive into Black Myth Wukong. So I might do a couple nights with Aaron with Call of Duty and whatnot, and then hopefully by then I can at least get my feel with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, get to a decent stopping point, and then dive into Black Myth Wukong. I don't really know anything else for the rest of the year that I would, really want. I did want to play, honestly, I did want to play Avowed, but Xbox was like, nah, bruh, we're gonna delay it again. So, and it's funny enough, pal. I don't know if you've kept up with anybody that's kept up with the news, but they Activision or Microsoft they bought Activision and everything like that, and they finally brought at least the current Call of Duty, which is Modern Warfare 3, to Game Pass. So obviously that brought a whole new player base into it, and GameStop is reporting that a lot of people are trading in their PS5s to, get Xboxes or just playing on PC and stuff like that. I get that, but Xbox, you still haven't won the console war, my guys. Like, you don't have any games. Yes, you have Call of Duty and you have that one player base, but you'll never have what Sony has, and it's unfortunate. So, like I said, I want to play Avowed, but hopefully eventually it'll come. So, speaking of things to keep up with, if you know anything about the industry, Gamescom, which Jeff Keighley does, the opening night, I think it's in Germany. It's in a week, so hopefully, I think that's probably like the last quote unquote summer event. Hopefully, they show some good things. Hey, Capcom, if you could just do me a solid, my guys, just one solid. Just talk about Dino Crisis. I love Resident Evil, but just Dino Crisis, please. It doesn't even need a full remake, just a full remaster. Put it on my PS5, and I'll go on with it. Do 1 and 2. If you're not going to do a remake of it, just do 1 and 2, remaster fully, 60 FPS, put it on PS5. I'll play it, my guys. I promise. So, hopefully they show some good stuff at Gamescom. List of upcoming games. Let's see. What is upcoming? So, in August, like I said, we got not a lot, honestly. Black Myth Wukong, and then the WoW expansion. Yes. September, there's some Harry Potter Quidditch game coming out. Another one, Age of Mythology Retold. I think I talked about it a couple episodes ago. 100% look for that. Warhammer 40K. I think Jordan and Kiwi will play that. I probably will not. Let's see. Frostpunk 2. I wish I would have got into Frostpunk because it gave me Age of Empires mythology or Age of Empires thoughts and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. The new Legend of Zelda is coming out. Probably won't give that a try. Silent Hill 2, I think they need to delay that because it looks awful. Let's see. TMNT Mutants Unleashed. I don't know what that is, but could be cool because it's TMNT. You know what I'm saying, boy? November, nothing really. December, they don't have much. Maybe they'll talk about that at Gamescom. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here because I'm actually gonna go do some more Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. So thank you again for listening. Hopefully you can get the boys back together because, oddly enough, our 2-year anniversary is coming up soon, and it'd be cool to have them back and just getting talking and stuff. But if they can't, I'll probably just do one, just talking about the last couple of years personally, in the podcast. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Thank you again for listening. I'm sorry for the inconsistency, but that's just how this podcast was designed, just to come on here and talk whenever we can, talk about what we think is fun and what we're doing. So remember to leave us feedback if you can, rate us on Spotify, give us some likes on our YouTube videos and stuff. Any criticism is perfectly fine. You can tell us we suck. That doesn't bother me. So, but I'm going to go ahead and end it there. And remember, you can always continue to believe us if you don't. Peace.